Today we are going to be taking a look into the African culture and find out the worst kids in high school, African edition. Uh, if you couldn't tell by my skin color and my overall facial features, I am Nigerian. I don't know anything about Nigerian schools, so I don't know. Let's see what your boy research. All right.
My high school video's gonna be mad different from the others you've watched. My high school video's gonna be mad different from the others you've watched. Because I went to an African all boys. Oh no!
Bro, all boys schools, that has to be some of the worst things in the world. I don't know why people do that. I'm not sure if it's like to stop from boys and girls from, you know what I'm saying, having intercourse when they're in high school. But if you're that religious about man and woman relations, you're not worried about dude relations, it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. It's always been a weird thing in my mind. It's like, why are you putting a whole bunch of boys in the same place when they're all horny teenagers? You feel me? So, yeah.
School in the mountains, fam.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
So without further ado, the old-looking one. They say puberty hits like a truck, but when it comes to this individual, puberty did to him what Breezy did to Rihanna. It obliterated him. Nah, but for real, I remember when I was in Form 1 or freshman year and being sat next to this homie called Joshua. And
I ain't gonna lie. The only experience I have with like a kid who looks older than he is, it was some white guy at my high school when I was in like grade 9. He would hang around a whole bunch of other. He was in grade 12, mind you. Bro looked 30 and like his life didn't work out in any possible way. But he's hanging out with a whole bunch of grade 9 girls, and one of them people who was like, I'm not sure if he was a super senior or one of them people who are like trying to see how close they can get to jail. I don't know. I don't know.
first reaction was to laugh. Because what the hell is this old doing in high school? This man looks like he should be rejecting job applications at a Fortune 500 company farm, not learning chemistry. But after Joshua showed me his papers, turns out he was 14. And I was like, how? Joshua's 6 feet, had a full beard and chest hair at 14?
What is going on here?
And as if that wasn't enough, while the rest of us sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks, he had the deepest voice in class. Bro sounded like Morgan Freeman. This one time we filled our...
No, I ain't gonna lie. Sucks that he's in Africa, or else he would have been able to make it to the NBA. That is wildly unfortunate.
math exam, so our teacher pulled up with 6 butts and banner pipes. Now, in case you don't know, these pipes are thicker than the average African dad's belt, so to say they hot would be an understatement, G. But before he began the violation, tell me why he goes, Mr. Joshua, please leave the room. Mr. Joshua? Bro, you're 37 calling a fool.
Don't tell me the teachers are scared of this kid. Oh my god. Nah, that is actually aura. What do you mean you're the only one in class who's not gonna get hit because the teachers are too afraid of what you might do to them? Nah, that's
14-year-old mister? And fam, that wasn't even the worst part. While we were getting our ass whooped for having C's, I checked Joshua's results and man's had a D-, fam. The bully.
Get an assessment.
My
did y'all have bullies at your school? Well, I'm 20, so no, I didn't have a bully at my high school at all. Like, nah, maybe people were getting bullied, but nah, I don't know. Nah, no swirl. People got into fights. People got caught jerking off in class, but nah, no bullying. Oh, maybe like online bullying, but That's different.
School had 2,000 boys in it, and I say this with zero exaggeration, fam, but it was survival for the fittest. So since the school food tasted like ass, we had a canteen that would sell us mandazis, bread, and sausages. Now, this one break during my first term, I was chilling in my dorm eating when the Form 4s pulled up and told me to go buy 10 mandazis and 2 loaves of bread. And I'm like, cool. So I stretch out my hand, and bro looks at me confused. He goes, what are you waiting for? A high five. No, bro, the money. That will cost.
I ain't gonna lie. Nowadays, if you try to bully someone, like steal their lunch money, they're just gonna call you broke. You feel me? Like, bro, that's why they're gonna be like, oh, what's that name? Girl, he funny, and be like, that's why you don't have a dad. No money, bro. They're gonna try to be all tough and strong because he has no money, bro. Go to UFC if you want money for being all big and strong, lame.
At least 300. And before I could even finish, boom, right in the jaw. And like a good little boy, I went to that shop and
Never
picked
that.
up the food. But just like America in the Middle East, he got greedy and kept doing it every day. At this point, I'm like, that kid, take this shit no more, man. What am I, a single mom? I can't keep supporting this dumbass. So after planning it out, I said enough was enough. I was gonna fight back. Now, here's the thing. If you're squaring up against a larger opponent, you can't fight fair, bro. This is not anime. You will get
Right.
robbed, fam. So, here's what I did. I bought the food as usual and walked into the door. And as soon as he stood up to take the food, I threw it in his face and decked it in the diaphragm. And like an OnlyFans girl in Dubai, he fell down to his knees. And fam, the legendary battle began. I must have landed 6 or 7 clean hits, but on the real, I still lost, fam. What? This man was like 15 foot 11 and I was 14, bro. This nigga is trash. Sure, I couldn't see out of my left eye for a week, but that was the price of victory.
Nah, you never get into a fight. If you're a smaller dude, especially if he's like bigger and like fatter, you run. Oh, you wear him down. And then once he's like, yeah, feel me? Oh, you start hang, and just win.
Because it wasn't about whether I won or lost. It was about showing this dumbass that I was nobody's. And sure enough, he never bothered me again. The genius. I'd always had the saying, not all men are equal, but this was the guy that made me believe it, fam. Duncan was the smartest guy in our school and probably the smartest person I've ever met. Man's placed first in the entire school for every exam we ever did. But obviously, keeping the #1 crown would take mad effort, right? But that's where you'd be wrong, because bro treated his education the way black dads treat child support. He didn't care. Man's barely picked up a textbook after class and spent 90% of his time playing ball. But here's the moment I realized he was a genius. This one afternoon, I pulled up to ask him this math problem that I just couldn't seem to understand. Now, for context, I'm pretty good at math. Good enough that I represented our school in several contests. But as soon as I give Duncan the question, bro looks at it for 4 seconds and goes, the answer is 56.3. My brother, how? Mans then proceeds to explain to me in detail how we arrived at the answer. This man understood the subject so well that he even showed me different formulas, fam. Every time I understood one formula, he was like,
Another one.
but here's the part that made me realize that he was truly one of a kind. He goes, everyone thinks math is about problems. They're wrong. You don't solve math. You surrender to it. The
Man, here's one thing you have to know about smart people. Like, either they're, according to him, a super genius, they study. Like, let's not lie and just pretend like he just automatically. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just a me thing. But you studied. Like, don't just say, like, you just go, unless you have a photographic memory, and then, yeah. But if you're just regularly smart, I assume you study a little bit, because no one's watching you 24/7. You crack on, open a textbook. Let's not lie.
Riz Demon.
It's an all boys school. Who is he spitting game to?
When I was in my second year, my desk mate was smashing a teacher farm. And not just any teacher, the thickest, most pink baddie at our school called...
My bad. My bad. I didn't know his game. I did not know he was coming like that. Good job, Babatunde.
Big booty Judy. Nah, bro, she looked like Tyler too, proper light skin. So it all started as most things do, small. During the middle of our second term, we got this new English teacher called Judy. And fam, immediately we saw her, the whole class was nastier than a Kardashian at an NBA draft. But I
Yeah, them be the ones, the teachers that are thick for no reason, or just like really attractive too attractive to be a teacher. It's like, yeah, you just have to assume their life isn't good. Because how do you end up here? You look like that, and you're here being surrounded by a bunch of boys who wear freaking who stink. Let's just put it like that. They stink. Because when you're in high school, some people don't know how to use deodorant. And yeah, nah. If I was thick and bad, never that. School, teaching the next generation, no, thank you.
started noticing something between Amani and Judy. Every time she needed someone to read something, she'd pick him. Whenever we do exams, she'd always congratulate him for his grades. And that's when I started getting suspicious. One night, however, while we were doing our preps, a student pulls up telling us that Judy asked Amani to bring the assignments to the staff room so she can grade them.
Oh my god, bro. I ain't gonna lie, some of y'all too nosy. Bro, let my man's win. If he's gonna crack a teacher, let him do it, bro. Have you guys ever seen that one Adam Sandler movie? That's my boy. That movie is funny. Jesus Christ.
Amani stands up smiling, looks at me and goes,
It's about to go down.
now, I think he's joking. Sure, Judy likes him, but bro,
You're not that guy.
weirdly though, Amani doesn't come back to class that day. I see bro the next day and he looks happier than a furry at the zoo.
I remember there was one time when I was like the 7th, 8th grade. There was this kid. We almost had a similar situation with a kid who was in our class. We were in a split class. He was in grade 7. Whatever. Not we, but two people started coming. It was a running joke that our French teacher liked that kid a little bit too much, and he was probably banging her. Ah. Oh man.
During mating season. And if you didn't get that, good. Stay pure.
There's
I go, yo, what happened last night, G? And he goes, bro, the whole prep time I was raising up Judy and making her laugh. I'm gonna smash soon, bro. I can feel it. And after 2 weeks of this activity, Amani pulls up back to class one time and hands me a beer. Now, for him to get something like this in boarding is next.
Oh man, bro. Nah, you know he was cheesing. He was all 32 teeth just yo, son. Like he would talk like this one day. Next day it's like, yo, what's going on? Yo, what's good? What's good? How you doing?
Next to impossible, meaning someone got it for him. Amani turns to me and goes, from Judy, since you can keep a secret. And fam, I immediately down it.
But research, weren't you a teenager when all of this happened? That means you weren't old enough to do that.
Shut your I couldn't believe it, bro. Me and Amani were giggling all night like, we did it! The beginning of the end began, however, when Amani started getting careless. He'd pull up to class with clear lipstick marks on his neck, smelling like perfume, and
That is why you never let a boy do a man's job. To be honest, at that age, yeah, I ain't gonna. I'm not. I wouldn't be secretive about it either. It'll be 9:30 in the morning. School just started. Walking into class, like black spots on my already dark neck. Just damn. Like, what's up? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing?
I kept telling bro to be careful, but he was like,
Chill.
Here's where I started hating though. Since Amani was barely in class during preps, I kept wondering how his grades kept improving when it should have been the opposite. Damn, he's really out here getting the vacuum suck 3 million, free food, drinks, and still getting A's in every class. Amani's not that smart. Something was up. And they kept smashing till 5 months later, they got caught. Now, it was the dumbest reason, fam. Apparently, Judy kept sending Amani naughty pics, and during the holiday, Amani's dumbass must have left it.
No, that's why you never send naked pics. No, no. You have to build up anticipation if you're gonna do anything like that. FaceTime. Never leave a trail of evidence.
His phone
Rookies.
because his mom saw the pics and realized that Judy was his teacher, fam. So his mom went to the school and snitched on him.
And I guess you have to because blah blah. It's bad for a kid, but let's not lie and say when you were a kid, you were the one banging the attractive teacher. You're not a little bit perturbed when it stops. You feel me? Because she had years of experience compared to every girl you will ever have for the next 10 years. It's like, damn. And plus, it was forbidden, so it kind of just makes it a little bit more,
So she went to the principal. His parents sat down with Judy and Amani, and after much deliberation, nothing happened. Think about it, G. It makes perfect sense. The school can't go public because as soon as they do, they'll be on the news. And the school's reputation would be gone. The school can't fire Judy because she just snitched. And lastly, they couldn't suspend Amani because technically he's the victim, fam. So it was the perfect crime. So remember, kids, it's okay to be a diddler, but only if you're...
damn, that was interesting. I ain't gonna lie, W. Armani. Damn, how bad is the school's reputation to where they're like, all right, we're gonna let this slide, and damn. I don't even know. I do not know. But that is the end of this video. And note, they get down in Africa and any means possible.